In this video we've got a system of conics. Right here we've got a line, right here we've got a parabola. It's a parabola because only one variable is being squared, but that doesn't even matter right now anyways. All we want to do is find the solutions. It might be one, might be two, but we'll find that out later on in the video. So the first thing that I want to do is set this equation right here equal to y, and then I'm going to plug that y into this y. You could also set it equal to x and then plug that into this x, but then you would have to do some extra distributing because you'd have a quantity squared right here and just be a longer problem. So like I said, let's get this equal to y. So I'm going to subtract out this 2x first, which means I have to subtract it out from that side, and I'm left with y equals negative 2x plus 2. Okay. Now I want to take this expression that's equal to y, and I want to plug it into this y right here. So I'm going to circle this in green so that you know what I'm working with. I'm going to rewrite all this over here, so I've got a negative 3x squared plus 13x minus, and now we have to plug in our expression that was written in green right there, and then plus 2 equals 0. So let's plug this in. That's going to be a negative 2x plus 2, and that's subbing in for that y. Okay, now let's distribute it. So we could simplify things by doing negative 3x squared. That stays the same. So does 13x. And now if we distribute this negative, negative times a negative 2x will actually be a positive 2x. And then a negative times a positive 2 becomes a negative 2. And then we've got plus 2 at the end there. And then now let's combine like terms, simplify a little bit. So this doesn't combine with anything, so let's rewrite it. We've got negative 3x squared plus, if we have 13 x's here and 2 x's there, it's a total of 15 x's. And then this part right here, negative 2 plus 2, cancels out, and we're just left with 0. Okay? Now we have to figure out, how do we solve this? Well, we have an x squared here and an x, so we can't just solve it like a normal one variable equation. What could we do right here? And the step would be to take out the greatest common factor. So what can we divide out from this term and this term? And I believe that's going to be a negative 3, and we could also divide out an x. So let's put a negative 3 and an x out in front. Now negative 3 divided by negative 3 cancels out. X squared divided by x is just x. So that's what we're left with. And then 15 divided by negative 3 is a negative 5. And then x divided by x is 1, so we don't have to write that at all. And that's what we're left with. So now we have two factors here. We have negative 3x and then x minus 5, and that's set equal to 0. So to get our x values, let's take negative 3x, set that equal to 0. And then we take x minus 5, set that equal to 0, and solve. So let's divide this by negative 3, that by negative 3. Our x is going to be 0. And then we want to get rid of this negative 5, so we add 5 to both sides. And our answer is x equals plus 5. So we have two possible x's. That means that we have two possible y's. So we have to actually plug x, which is 0, right here into this equation, or we could do it into this equation, whichever is easier, but I think this one will be a little bit easier. Let's go ahead and do that in blue. Okay, so this x, when we plug it into that equation, is going to look like y equals negative 2, and then we plug in that 0 for x, and we've got plus 2. So if we simplify that, we've got y equals, this times this is 0, plus 2, so our y equals 2. So then if x equals 0, whoops, I don't want to do that. Whoops. If x equals 0 and then y equals 2, that's going to be our point, or our solution. So we got 0 comma positive 2. Now we'll do this x equals 5 over here on the right side. We'll use our equation right here again. So I'll start off by writing y equals negative 2. I'll leave some room to plug in the x. And then we've got plus 2. So let's plug in this part right here. That was in, it'll be in purple. So we plug in a 5 there. And then we've got y equals negative 2 times 5 is a negative 10. We've got plus 2 still. Simplify this and we'll get a negative 8. So now we know that whenever our x equals 5, our y is going to equal negative 8, and that's the point. So say if we took this line and this parabola and graphed them both on a coordinate system, the intersection point, so we'd have a u of some sort, or actually it would be an upside down u, something like that, and then there'd be a line going through it. This point right here and this point right here would represent this solution as well as that solution, and this is totally a rough sketch, but it would be something really similar to that if you graph both of them. And that's about that.